Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about how to travel with your newborn or toddler. I recently just got back from a trip. I flew with my 9-week-old from New York to Florida, which is about a 2.5, 3-hour flight. And I learned so much, I experienced so much, I had so many travel tips that I really want to share with you. So to start off, I want to talk about booking your flight, which is just as important as being on the flight and everything else. Booking your flight is so important. Where you sit, what time of day, all of that comes into play with how your baby is going to react to traveling. If your baby is 2 or under, they can sit on your lap for the flight, which is actually really great. I liked being able to hold on to my baby during takeoff and landing. The other option is you can buy them a seat and put their car seat in there as well, which is also a really nice, safe option, but they will charge you for the full price of the ticket most airlines. If you are flying with a lap infant under 2, you have to call the airline and let them know, and they'll add the infant to your boarding pass. I actually didn't realize that until like a week before. I was rereading over our flight information, and I saw that in the fine print that if you're traveling with a lap infant, they need to know. So I just called JetBlue, which is who we were flying with, and they added her to my boarding pass, and when I checked in at the airport, they actually printed her a little boarding pass. So don't forget to let them know if you are flying with a lap infant. Another important thing to know, if you're flying with a newborn or toddler, you cannot sit in an exit row. They'll end up moving you, which might be more stress than it's worth, so don't book an exit row if possible. It's also important to factor in what time of day you're going to fly with your newborn or toddler. If they are fussy in the afternoons, maybe skip the afternoons. I know for us, our baby does best in the early mornings and then late at night when she's tired. So our flight to Florida, we booked first thing in the morning and she slept the entire way. I made the mistake of booking an afternoon flight when we came back, and she was awake the entire time. The afternoon is not her best time of day, so pick the time, if you can, that works best with your baby, and it'll go much smoother for you. Another fun fact I learned is the front of the plane has less germs. I don't know if this is a proven fact, but it's a rumor that I've heard, and I'm a germaphobe, so we booked the second row. And I also like the front because I feel like it's less bumpy and I don't do well with turbulence, so the front of the plane is the way to go when you're traveling with your newborn or baby. Also, if you can, try and book a bulkhead seat. The bulkhead seats usually have much more legroom, or if you can, upgrade to the more legroom seats. It's so much nicer to have all that extra space when you have a diaper bag and a squirmy baby. You just need that extra room. This is one time to splurge for that. And now I want to go into what you need to bring with you. This is a very detailed list, and I promise you all of these things will come in so unbelievably handy. Check with your airline, but for most domestic flights, you're allowed to travel with a diaper bag, a pump bag, and your carry-on. So the diaper bag and the pump bag don't count towards your carry-on, which is really nice. So I was able to put so much extra stuff in my pump bag. I had all my bottles, my milk bags, I had like everything I needed for my pump. I tried to fit as much in there as possible because that didn't count towards my carry-on. I also had a diaper bag, which I took full advantage of. One little tip I have to add into your diaper bag is, you know those little rolls to pick up dog poop, where they have like the individual bags that you can tie up and stuff. I always have those in my diaper bag because you never know when you're going to have a dirty diaper and there won't be a trash can. So I always like to keep those in my diaper bag, and it comes in really handy if you have to change a dirty diaper in a seat, which I did. If you're going to take one travel tip from this video and you're traveling with a young baby, bring your boppy or nursing pillow. It sounds a little bit extra at the time, but it will save your arms in the long run, especially if you have a couple-hour flight. It's going to hurt your arms to keep holding that baby for so long. And I have a very sweaty baby. She gets really hot and sweaty very easily. So being able to have that pillow there kind of cooled us both down, and it really saved my arms, and we were both so comfortable. It really helped her sleep on the plane right there. So I highly recommend bring your boppy or nursing pillow. I actually went on Amazon because one of my friends recommended, they have a smaller version of the boppy pillow called the Nurse It, and it's actually really cheap. I think it was like $19. I'll leave a link below. So I bought that one. It came in a zippered carrier case, which was perfect for the airport. I kept it in the case and I only took it out when we got on the plane. Again, germaphobe. And I put a boppy slipcover over it. So it's kind of a smaller version of the boppy, and it's perfect to travel with. It's really affordable, and I'll leave a link down below for it. And that's called the Nurse It. Because we were traveling somewhere where we were going to need our stroller, we brought our stroller, our car seat, and the car seat base. And my biggest tip for going through the airport is to push the baby through the stroller all the way through the airport. Some people like to gate check at the beginning, but I like to have my stroller to go all throughout the airport because you can put all of your bags on it, and it's just easier to push the baby than have to carry the baby. So what we did was we put the car seat base underneath the stroller, pushed the stroller all throughout the airport and through security, and then right when we went to gate check our car seat, you just click it right onto the car seat base and check it clicked in together as one. Another tip I have is to buy gate check bags for your stroller and car seat. A lot of the times when they're loading these things onto the plane, they get thrown around and scratched and damaged, and the last thing you want is for you to arrive at your destination and your stroller or car seat is damaged. So I would definitely buy one of these bags. I'll leave a link down below for that as well. I also traveled with a little bit of breast milk, just like maybe 20 ounces or less, and I found this really amazing bag from Skip Hop. It's a small little mesh bag that I clipped right onto my diaper bag. I threw in some freezer packs and the milk, and that went through security really easy as well. Mine was frozen, so all they did was opened it to check to see if it was frozen, and that was it. And honestly, on the flight from New York to Florida, they didn't even look at it at all. So you can travel with breast milk too. So that 3-ounce rule or 3.4-ounce rule doesn't apply to breast milk. You're allowed to travel with it. I also recommend having some extra little swaddle blankets inside your diaper bag. Sometimes the planes get really cold. So once you get to the airport, like I said, I liked pushing my baby in her stroller throughout the airport, and I also had my baby Catan baby carrier in my diaper bag. So I had two options. If she was getting fussy in the car seat, I could take her out and wear her, and if she didn't feel like being worn, I could put her back in the car seat and push her around. So I liked having both options. I would just see how your baby's feeling that day. I know some days my baby hates the carrier, and some days she loves it. So I didn't want to take a chance by just having the carrier and her freak out. I liked having the car seat too. And I also put my car seat cover on the car seat, so when we were going through the airport, no one was touching her. It protected her from germs, and it was just a really convenient option for us. So I recommend having both the baby carrier and the stroller just as options because you just never know how your baby's going to react. They're just truly unpredictable. I did hear that if you're wearing the baby, sometimes they don't make you take them out of the carrier when you go through security. I've heard yes and I've heard no. I heard more often than not they'll let you keep the baby in the carrier, so if your baby's asleep, that's probably a better option for you. When I pushed her in the stroller, I kind of left my husband with the bags and the car seat and the stroller, and he just told me to go. So I walked through with the baby. They didn't even check anything. I just walked the metal detector, and then I grabbed the diaper bag and I met him at the gate. So if you're traveling with young kids, I recommend that if you have a partner with you or someone traveling with you, you leave them with the stuff and you just get through with the kids. It's much easier that way. And another huge tip I have is before you get on that plane, change that diaper one more time. You don't want to be on the plane and all of a sudden they have a wet diaper or dirty diaper and you're just stuck on the plane at this point right at takeoff. So I highly recommend change the diaper right before you get on the plane. It's just one last little insurance. So now that you're on the plane with your baby, I highly recommend Lysoling everything around you. Babies love to touch things and put their hands in their mouth, and planes are notoriously dirty. So definitely Lysol and wipe down everything so you don't have to worry about what they're touching or putting in their mouth, so definitely do that. I also recommend getting out a bag of pacifiers, toys, anything you're going to need during the flight. I like to put in a little Ziploc bag, take it out of my diaper bag, and put it in the seat back pocket. So if she starts fussing, I'm ready. I have a toy, I have a pacifier, I have something to give to her, and I'm not digging around in a bag while she's screaming. That's way more stressful than it needs to be. And another tip, if you're a germaphobe like me, I like to keep those little doggy waste bags out too. So if she drops her pacifier, which inevitably happens all the time, I could pick that up, put it in one of those bags, and know that that one's dirty, and then I'll just grab another one. I recommend traveling with a bunch of pacifiers. You just never know how many they're going to drop, how many you're going to lose. Just travel with more than you need, for sure. If you formula feed, have your bottle of formula ready to go for takeoff and landing. The sucking really helps their ears, and I can't recommend that enough. If you breastfeed like I do, breastfeed at takeoff and landing, but the trick is if they're sleeping, let them sleep. I was a little bit worried because my baby was sleeping when we were taking off and landing, and I was scared that her ears wouldn't regulate and she was going to scream once she woke up, but she was totally fine. But just don't wake them if they're sleeping. Just let them sleep. It might make them more upset to be woken up. So like I said before, I hate turbulence. I don't like getting up and walking around. So at one point, my baby peed, she had a wet diaper. I was able to use my little Skip Hop portable diaper changing station, which I'll leave a link down below. But it's just like a cloth diaper station that opens up, it lays flat. I just changed her on my lap and no one even noticed. It was super discreet. I wouldn't have done that if she had like a poop diaper, but it was just pee. No one even noticed. Had one of those little doggy waste bags, and that was that. So that was really easy. And another tip I have is once you're on the plane, put the baby in some comfy PJs. I like those footed PJs for babies because it keeps their feet warm, they're cozy. I like the ones with a zipper so you're not like snapping a million buttons after a diaper change on a bumpy plane. So definitely those. And if you have those scratch mittens that protect them from scratching their face, I think it also protects their hands from germs. And right now my baby's touching things and shoving her hands in her mouth. So those little mittens will really save you on that. If you have a little bit of an older baby, snacks. Snacks, snacks, and more snacks, and then have an extra super special snack that you can promise them they can have if they're good on the plane. So that they have something to look forward to, it gives them a reason to behave, and it also gives them a little treat. And if that doesn't work, another tip I have from one of my friends is to have little presents you get from the dollar store, wrap them all up, and every half hour or hour, let them unwrap a new toy, and that will occupy them for the entire flight. Each half hour, they get to open up a new little toy to play with, and by the time they're bored with that one, they get to open a new one. So that's also another really great way to occupy a little bit of an older baby or toddler. And if there's one time to let your baby use a screen, iPad, Kindle, whatever, this would be the time. Let them zone out, let them be comfortable, let them enjoy their flight while you enjoy your flight. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some solid travel advice for traveling with your newborn or toddler. And if you have any other tips, leave a comment below with your travel tips as well. I'd love to hear from you. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more updates like this. I'll see you next time.